mean, that was kind of poetic, though.
I know. I'm just sad that everybody had to miss that. See, that last thing that just came out of my mouth before we transitioned off of the Patreon was what I refer to as a symphony of profanity.
It was.
And the reason I know the phrase symphony of profanity
It's very stiff meister.
is because I have an uncle named Mickey. A lot of people know him by Flick, and he has been working at the car dealership in my hometown for a long time.
Okay, hold on. Let's sidebar real quick. How come people from our hometown have the weirdest just names and everybody knows them by that? Let's think, because we had Flick, we had Squeaky.
Yep, on the moped.
There was some others that just blanked.
You had Junior and Frack. They owned the BP station that was down the Dole Highway.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody knew Junior and Frack. You had and now I'm getting back in the lore here. The lore of White
Dirty
County.
Bird.
Dirty Bird. Okay. You had Boonduck and Missoula. Now those are some old names, but Boonduck and Missoula, they had the old general store. Now those are Sparta legends for a little bit. That's reaching deep into the lore there.
And I went there before it closed.
Yeah.
It was open for you're talking about out on 84?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Now.
Boonduck's Market.
Mm-hmm. Or 84 Market.
Yeah.
It was also sort of called that.
Yeah.
I pulled in there. I don't even know why I stopped there. I really don't.
No.
But I walked in and because I was like, this is open? Because I was like, I've never seen it open. And there was like a couple old dudes sitting there at the counter talking to the ladies. And they're like, what can we do for you? I was like, just something to drink, because I didn't know what to say at that point. And they're like, oh, yeah, baby, they're down there in that fridge. So you open the fridge and you look at a couple of them and they are separated.
Yeah.
It's like
they've been there
these
for
have
a
been
minute.
here since like the 40s.
Like, I'll buy this for its antique value, but I'm still thirsty.
Yeah. Well, no, see, I bought one.
Yeah.
And she was like, you got a bottle opener? I was like, yeah, probably out in the car. And she's like, that's all right, baby. Here you go. Popped it open and handed it to me.
Just,
and I was like,
what a sweet lady.
It would have been sweet.
Had it not been.
Had that thing not been from 20 years ago.
Damn.
So I took a big swallow because I had to.
I'm sorry, son.
Yeah. They all had to have known.
Maybe they didn't think about it. Maybe they didn't think about it. Grandma, like, if you think about the way
that's true, because I have been in both of my granny's fridges.
Yeah. Like, if you got a Depression era granny,
yeah,
you got a Depression era granny? You should.
Oh, yeah.
I think you do.
Yep, I did.
Okay.
Actually, I had one that was even before that. So yeah.
Yeah.
Because Grandma Sally, she was making rifle barrels in World War II.
Yeah, my
got pulled out of teaching.
My grandfather and grandmother were both alive during the Great Depression. So you can guarantee that if you get into the back of their fridge, they've got some stuff that say dates on it, but they swear it's going to be good. And I promise you that is bred into my DNA to the point of I am surprised I am not dead.
Dude, have you ever had water pie?
Is that whenever your granny forgets how to make the pie correctly?
No, it was a Depression era recipe.
Oh, what?
Water pie.
Excuse? Oh,
it's
yeah.
Sugar and water baked in a pie crust until it's a goo.
Yeah.
It's one of the most horrible, gritty, and sweet things you'll ever eat.
Gross.
So she would, I guess that's a way of saying she still made Depression era food sometimes.
Yeah. I mean, that's not surprising.
Well, and then we taught Julie how to cook. Okay. Julie was my aunt who had Down syndrome.
Okay. I think I remember you talking about Julie.
And she could cook the hell out of some things. She could make some stuff real good.
That is a good quality to have.
Yes. But do not ever eat one of her cheeseburgers.
Oh, God, what'd she put on her cheeseburgers?
No, it wasn't what she put on it. It was so they would start off like a good-sized burger. Okay? Then they would be cooked until they were roughly this big.
So she would cook them dry.
Oh, God, they would be black. They'd be like charcoal briquettes with cheese.
Yeah. So she didn't want to risk it.
It wasn't that they were crunchy.
It's that
they were rocks.
No, like if you cook ground beef,
you
cook ground beef long enough, it turns to pebbles.
Yeah.
Like I've made the mistake of walking away from the stove, cooking some taco meat one time, and I was like, "Oh, it's just going to have it's just some seasoning stuck."
Yeah, but now imagine you still have to eat it and pretend like it's good. You'd have to put 3 of them on a piece of white bread. Because Granny didn't believe in hamburger buns.
You know, she would have fucking. Is she still around?
No.
Damn.
She was the one that we buried by hand.
Shit. Damn.
Which also, why is that a Southern tradition?
No. I'm not getting into that. I've been to too many fucking Southern funerals.
Have you ever had to bury somebody by hand?
Yeah.
It sucks.
No, not on purpose. It was one of those things
How
like.
do you accidentally bury somebody by hand?
Let me see. This was in Spencer, and we had people there that were available to.
We did too.
Who are available to bury, but I didn't do it. I wasn't the barrier. I wasn't there to bury. I wasn't taking part. But one of Trudy's dad's best friends was just having a real rough time.
Yeah.
And he grabbed that shovel and he started filling in the hole. Then I started kind of feeling bad and I wanted to help, so I started to go that direction. But by that time, one of the other cousins grabbed the shovel and he started doing the work. And the guys were just kind of standing over like, we could do it. They're like, no, we owe him this.
Okay, so when my granny passed, she wanted all of the grandkids to be pallbearers. So there was like 10 of us. And that also included like, people's partners. And I was like, I will absolutely do this for Granny because she wasn't my blood, but I was her grandson. It didn't matter, because everything that happened with the anyway, because when my Aunt Debbie, who was my step person's sister, called me, I was like, I don't want anything to happen at Granny's funeral. She's like, no, you're one of the grandsons. Don't you worry about it. You was our family. And, it was real touching. And I was like, I'll be there. I don't care. So we get there. And then they're like, hey, Granny wanted the grandkids to be pallbearers. Got it. No problem. Absolutely. And, and I'm dressed as nice as I can be because this is my granny.
Yeah.
We get there, or right before it starts, our meth cousin, because we all got a meth cousin. My meth cousin goes,
some of us more than others.
Right? He goes, so we're going to bury Granny. And I was like, no. And he goes, yeah. And then he turns around and everything starts. And I'm just like, not getting a chance to say anything. Okay. And I was like, maybe he'll forget this idea. So we get there. And you know how, like, this truck was already pulled up. It's got a bucket attached to the flatbed and all this stuff. And I'm like, he hasn't said anything. We're good. Because he had time to remember and he didn't. And then at the end, when everything's said and done and she was lowered, he goes up to the guys who was going to cover and he goes, hey, y'all got a shovel? He's like, we got this. We're going to bury Granny. And I was like, I can't be the only one that's not. So I'm up there in my, my best Sunday clothes, my best shoes, and this is red clay mud. And I'm like, I'm not going to be the only one not doing it. This is Granny, I ended up doing most of the work because the people would just pick up one shovel full, dump it in, because there's only 2 shovels, so we had to go in shifts.
No, dude.
And I was I got up there and I was working like I was doing like it was a job because I want this done.
Here's the thing. Well, I'm gonna interrupt you just for half a second because I'm gonna tell you exactly what this man would have done and why the family doesn't enjoy me being around anymore. Because this is exactly what has happened. Because in the role of life, I have been gifted as a bard, and in times the silver tongue does help me to achieve my ways. Okay. So in this situation,
you just started singing Amazing Grace or something.
No, in this situation, I would convince them with the silver tongue that yes, this is necessary because we need to show our respect. This is spiritual energy being given in this ritual that we are doing here. But for the sake of today, we have to just ceremonially place 1 scoop of dirt per person, and then the rest of it can be taken care of by this machine. That's why I'm not allowed anymore, because I would try to manipulate the fuck out of the situation. I don't want to do it. I understand. I understand. I want to have your gumption. I ain't got it.
Here's the problem. Your boy here.
Oh God, you fold.
I know I have been rolled as either a barbarian at some points that has multi-classed into paladin, and I took a level in fighter. Okay, so they go, we need to do this. And then I start going, I'm like, no. And they're like, it was Granny. And I go, she did do a lot for me. So I get that soft heart. And it's not that I fold. It's I reason with myself as to why this can be okay. Because if I don't reason with myself, I'm going to get punchy.
Mm-hmm.
Because my initial reaction sometimes is punch a bunch.
Yeah.
Just like a situation that happened earlier today. I initially got punchy.
You just get mad.
And then I
get mad enough that it's a jerk.
I'm done. Yeah, it takes me like 30 seconds and I'm over it.
Yeah.
So I most of the time can't just go, yeah, like let's just ceremoniously do like a handful. She'd understand because but my meth cousin looks at the guys with the truck and he goes, "I bet y'all are glad you ain't got to do this one, huh?" And one of the guys goes, "We got a bucket." And also, they got paid to just stand there.
I bet they were also. I bet they were kind of upset too, because you have to pack dirt a certain way to make sure that it's going to settle correctly.
Well, as we were going to the cars, they started doing some things.
Good.
Because we got all the dirt in the hole, then they just, typically they just take the bucket and kind of tap it.
Was
whatever.
Granny in a box or was Granny in a box in a box?
Box in a box.
Good, thank you.
But it was a Tupperware.
A plastic box?
Yeah.
Inside of
outside.
Oh, plastic outside.
Yeah.
Still better.
It's real thin.
Here, let me tell you why. You want to know why that those things exist?
So the box doesn't collapse. I know.
It's disgusting to find out all of the evolutions that we've had to go through because I was sitting in some of the listeners, local folk, his name was Houston Austin, and he was telling me about the different reasons behind certain types of burials because he was a last minute go-to for.
Hold on, I got to ask you this because I did say this the other day about the sack being haunted.
Yeah.
Have you noticed that?
Dude, Trudy, it happened today. So,
yeah, there'd be nobody there. Then baskets stuff starts happening.
Yeah, there was.
The baskets always look the same when I go back there.
Yeah,
like, what's going on?
You see, I think that there's
sometimes leaving at night, I'm real creeped out.
I think there's a mouse
when I'm the only one there.
I think there's a mouse.
Oh.
Tales of nerds and lore. 3 best friends on a podcast line with laughs and chats galore. From comics break to movies grand and games we love to play. We'll sail the seas of fandom land in our nerdy way. People raise a glass to the stories we entwine. With laughter loud and knowledge fast, nerded through the grapevine. Come join the crew, we'll share our tales divine. From D&D to MCU, nerded through the grapevine.
Hi everyone, I'm Austin Shazam. Right into the windows of her souls. Pfeiffer.
And I'm tiny, and I'm just not doing a thing behind my name anymore.
That's fine.
Unless I just happen to think of one.
That's fine. No pressure. You can just tell them who you are, and we can move on past it because you don't gotta. There's no pressure. Nobody's judging you for it.
They will if I don't, though.
But if you do one and it's really bad, then we can laugh at you, and you can be Bert Kreischer.
Maybe I can just train ChatGPT to make it up for me.
Hey, you gotta use the robot the way you can use the robot. Just make sure you respect it, and if it ever gets legs, then you respect it even more.
I have gotten mad and cussed it, but then I apologize to it.
Thank you for making the necessary approaches and making it more human. Oh, and we're Nerded Through the Grapevine, the podcast where your best friends gather weekly to talk about our favorite parts of past, present, and future nerd culture. We're going to talk to you a little bit today about one of the dynamic duo of the Key and Peele folks, the Jordan Peele. Tiny wanted to talk about Jordan Peele.
Yeah.
And you look into Jordan Peele, because he's
Well, hold on.
he's
Let
been
me
in
tell
some
you-
things.
Let me tell you where I come across this. Okay.
Good, because I'd like to know what
Because-
brought it. Because he's like Key and Peele's funny, and a lot of different
Yeah.
stuff that he's done is really cool. But like, it's out of left field coming from you. You're like, I think Jordan Peele's a really good subject, and I was like, where'd that come from?
Yeah. Well, so I was sitting there playing something from YouTube on the TV at the SAC. Doesn't matter what I was watching, but I went to help a customer, and I come back and I caught the tail end of a trailer for a movie, and I was like, "What?" Because it was called Him, and it looked really bizarre at the end of it. I don't know if you've seen the trailer, but I then look it up, and it's like it looks like Just Sports, and I'm
Uh-huh.
like, "Oh, this is dumb." I don't super like sports movies. I like ones with that have some kind of meaning to
And
it.
what's it called?
Him.
Okay.
And then it gets like culty. And the whole time they're just talking about the sports, and you think it's a sport, it's playing this like low key, like just barely, just like it's just kind of creepy music.
I hate that.
That's like that uneasy kind of feeling.
That's a classic '80s horror kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, keep going.
Yeah. And so you're watching it, and you kind of have that feeling of uncanny valley.
Yeah.
And then something just really screwed up happens, and you're like, okay, maybe that was an accident, like, but then and then more of these different style instances happen, and then they're laughing like this is normal and a great time thing, and it's just like it started getting more and more bizarre until it's almost like a satanic cult looking thing,
Yeah.
and it said Him, and then it said like Jordan Peele, and I was like, okay. I was like, that was really messed up. And then I got to thinking, I was like, wait, he also did Get Out,
Yeah.
which was also really messed up.
Yeah.
And then he did one called Us and one called Nope that was really messed up. And I'm like, whoa, whoa, whoa. I'm like, where did the funny guy make this just all of a sudden switch to horror?
No, he's a fucking brain, man. Like, just the way that he depicted the alien kind of being in Nope. Have you seen Nope?
I have not.
Oh, good. Like, do you like alien stuff?
Sometimes
Okay.
I got to be in the mood.
This one is not as much of like an alien, like, like Alien Predator style alien.
Right.
And this is more or less like ominous threat, barely seen what's happening kind of alien.
Yeah.
Then
Kinda
once,
like our garbage sword savior.
yeah, something like that.
If
What
you
do you
listen back, that was the title of an episode.
Yeah. But it's a he got me. He got me so fucking scared.
So was it something like one of those Thud style kind of things?
No, not a jump scare.
No. Like Thud the Alien.
Oh,
Like
who's Thud? Off of what?
from the Garbage Sword Savior episode.
I forgot. Dude, it's been it's been episodes ago.
It was that farm that was being haunted by the paradimensional aliens that the guy was fighting with a samurai sword and stuff.
Ah, okay. Okay. I think I recall what you're talking
Yeah.
about.
Not Skinwalker Ranch, but
Hold on. No, I'm going to remember this. Because it wasn't Skinwalker Ranch.
No.
It was a ranch, though, wasn't it?
yeah.
Oh, my gosh. Brain. Why's brain not working? I can't remember what that... Stardust Ranch.
Yes.
Yes.
Stardust Ranch.
Shoot, I'm sorry. I even had some dust from the files get in my fucking nose, and I had to cough and almost
Well, yeah.
sneezed.
Well, I mean that's the less popular one, because Skinwalker Ranch. I was like, oh god, Skinwalkers.
Yeah.
So is it something like that style of alien invasion?
It is more along the lines of, have you ever seen the movie with Natalie Portman called Arrival?
No.
Okay, it's really hard to describe because Cloverfield, you're getting to be in a reactionary standpoint from a massive kaiju style alien attacking the city.
Well, unless you're talking about Cloverfield Lane.
No, Cloverfield. And in
Yeah, in that one.
yeah, so it'd be kind of like that response, except nobody knows it's around. Only people that have been exposed to it know what it is, and they're all gone now. Do you remember? Have you ever seen the Tom Cruise War of the Worlds?
No.
Damn it! The ship.
Not seeing the new one either.
The ship. No, don't see that. That's
I
supposedly.
do not plan on watching.
If we ever do watch that, we need to watch that just so we can give it some of that, because That's not.
Right.
I've heard things, and I've also watched clips.
I've heard things, and I've seen clips.
I've seen
too.
clips. So by watching clips, that's almost like what it seems like it'd be like Ice Cube's version of.
Ice Cube is not a good actor.
That'd be like his version.
He did good in the Friday movies. That's really it.
Yeah, what's that movie called? It'd be like his version of Goblin
And
2.
maybe 21 and 22.
Why don't you try some of this Neil Bog milk?
Yeah.
Oh my God! Anyway, the alien creature in the sky. It's just a very scary, large. You can't do shit about it kind of force, and it basically can control gravity and like a lot of other stuff. And
Yeah.
you don't really know it's there until it's there, and once you know it's there, you wish that
You're talking about, her name's Clover,
No.
right?
No, I'm not talking about that anymore. I was talking.
you're
about
not talking about Clover
No, I was
anymore?
talking about the alien in
Oh,
Nope.
in Nope.
Yeah, in Nope.
Gotcha, okay.
Because like it just, I think that it has an actual name, just so the internet doesn't get upset with me. Because anybody ever watches this episode, which I know nobody will watch this episode on the internet, but if they do, they might get mad at me because that's what the internet does. So I'm gonna say Nope, and I'm gonna make sure that I know the name of that alien. Not Leslie Nope. That's not how you. That's no. I didn't want a correction on that.
Try Nope 2022.
Nope. Alien name. There we go. It is called an Oculonimbus Edicus. Oh God. The creator of the movie Nope, nicknamed Jean Jacket, does not have an official name, but it is given a fictional scientific name by the characters. Oculonimbus. Yeah, I can't read that. That's crazy. Hold on. I'm going to do this for the sake of science and the word being from you. Oculonimbus Edicus.
Okay.
Say it with me.
Oculonimbus Edicus.
Oculonimbus Edicus.
Oculonimbus Edicus.
Cool.
I mean, I'm just going to go along with that's probably how it's said because I can't even say it. But, it's fine. I hope it's not spelled anything like it sounds.
What's mad cow disease?
Bovine spongiform encephalopathy.
See, you can be programmed.
I know I had to look at the certain spot on the ceiling.
You know
It's in there.
you could be programmed that way. It just honestly, it was one of the because I watch scary movies, like movies that I'm supposed to get freaked out about with the demons and the jump scares and the things that like in the least suspecting part, like here's the demon behind the face. Like Insidious 1 got me in so many ways with the jump scares and like the music and everything. It was like one of my favorite like more modern scary movies.
Yeah.
But I noticed from Nope though that it was less of like a super horror. It was more of like an ominous horror,
Yeah.
and it was like just enough to where you were concerned about people and like what are you gonna do, like because it's like there's so much to be lost, and it's could you or I just uproot and maybe take everything that we got somewhere else possibly. Generationally speaking, if everything you got is attached to some land and a generational like inheritance,
Yeah.
like it's if you leave everything behind, you're dead.
Okay, so here I was using the robot to make my notes.
Or living in a Hooverville, getting killed behind the vape shop.
Yep, which I've not really done before today. And here's something kind of funny that happened.
Yeah.
So I started with the thing Jordan Peele movies.
Yes.
And it goes, okay, here's what he's directed, here's what he's written / produced, but not directed. And they said, do you want me to break down the themes that connect all of Peele's movies so far, or just keep it as a straight filmography list?
I'm glad you're using the robot some. That helps to really centralize your thoughts.
Here's what I've done, which, yeah, it was great, but here's what I did, and it struck me as kind of funny.
Mm-hmm.
I was joking with the robot like it was a person. I said, yeah, break it down for me, DJ. And then I said, got you. Here's the Jordan Peele breakdown DJ mode activated. So it gave me the movies with the year, beat, theme, and drop.
It took you very literally.
It did, and it's the greatest thing. So it said, Get Out 2017, beat, psychological horror, and racial satire. Theme, the terrain of racism hiding under a polite surface. and the drop, the sunken place, equals the symbol of oppression and helplessness. I was like, I mean, that's right.
Yeah.
The nail on the head. And then it did that for everything else.
Because I'd had to do similar things with some of the movies. So the description it gave for that
Did you do it in DJ mode?
dude, I didn't know it would accidentally do that. But
I didn't either. It's great.
before Get Out, it was his directorial debut, and it became a cultural phenomenon. It was critically acclaimed, and he was awarded an Oscar for the best original screenplay. It grossed approximately $255 million worldwide on a budget of $4.5 million.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
That's a success.
absolutely.
That's a big success.
Well, also in my notes, once I got past, DJ mode,
DJ mode.
which was great, it said, well, here's the through line in all of his movies. They're typically social horrors, so every film ties, real fears like racism, classism, spectacle to something supernatural, some kind of supernatural / metaphorical horror. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Accurate. And then this is myth making. He builds new modern myths like the Sunken Place, Tether, Jean Jacket, Candyman Legacy. And there's always some like a duality, be it like identity, doppelgangers, masks, reflections, who we really are. Then there's the whole spectacle versus reality thing. So from hypnosis to hidden cameras to UFOs, Peele just critiques your gaze and he just basically controls the story through those things. So
It scared me.
I didn't mean to do that, but
Startled me. Yeah, I was reading about a movie of his too, and it got me startled because you were telling me the things, and I was like, oh, I forgot he did that.
well, and after that, it said you want to go one level deeper and rank his films according his films by scariest, funniest, and deepest commentary. And I said, sure. And it goes, all right, let's spin the records and rank Jordan Peele's movies. So
Jesus
she
Christ.
got stuck in DJ mode, and that amuses me.
Poor robot.
Yeah, because he also puts a little bit of comic relief in every movie.
Yeah.
That I've seen. Because he started off with comedy, and the thing that he said in an interview, because I was like, how do you make the sudden shift from all these hundreds of hours, just these funny skits, the TV show and all of that? How did you make that shift from comedy to horror? And he's been quoted with saying that comedy and horror are cousins. They both rely on timing, tension, and the release of some type of emotion. So in comedy, you're building up the punchline, so it's the release of laughter. And in horror, the tension builds, and you're building up the scare that he's hoping that you scream and have that kind of emotional reaction.
Yeah.
So it's playing off of the same beats, but it's yielding opposite feelings in people.
Yeah, that's a good way to break it down because, in all honesty, too, like if you watch enough horror movies, stuff does become comedic to you. Like the Freddy Krueger movies, like that's some of the most some of the funniest. Like,
Leprechaun.
yeah, because they've got the
Jason X.
Well, no, Jason X was just like circumstantial because of everything happening in it. The Jason movies were typically not that humorous when it came to but he wasn't rocking. He wasn't clocking like locking a sock, beating somebody,
Right.
in a sleeping bag. Like,
That's why I
do you want to
specifically said
go and have
Jason X.
premarital sex?
Yeah, God.
Yeah, I'll never forget. That's my. Oh God, that's a bad phrase. That's a bad phrase. I got to get that out of my head. I about said something. He started off actually in puppetry, going to school for puppetry and comedy. But he left he left after 2 years.
I believe it. Well, I mean, he's always been like a horror nerd. Like he grew up on the classics, like The Shining, Nightmare on Elm Street, The Twilight Zone. Those were what he watched a lot as a kid. Like that was his first love. So it wasn't like he was changing. It's like he's going back to what he really enjoyed to do. Comedy was his end to make what he wanted, which was the horror things.
I could see that Twilight Zone influence in movies like Get Out. Because Get Out, like that's one of those like something's wrong, but what is it type situations. And it makes a really good thriller aspect to it as well, because your brain's trying to figure out what the hell is happening. Like, something's wrong. What is it? Something is definitely. Why is he running? Like, so, yeah, well, he's just getting exercise, because in my brain, the first time that I saw it, and it's like I wasn't going to automatically judge that man for just sprinting like that and looking kind of creepy, because my first thought was like, hey, he's autistic. Like, because that literally, we used to have a customer back at the old vape shop that at certain given
would just
points,
randomly run.
at certain given points in conversation, he had built up too much tense energy from us talking, and then he'd have to let it loose by. All right, I'm back.
Yeah,
Hi, Shazam.
yeah. I feel like he didn't even realize he was doing it. He just done it.
Yeah, just like take off and like bent over almost Naruto runny style.
Yeah.
But I always like to give him race car sounds in my head.
Oh yeah, I would too.
Because I would just not get it. Like in my head, I just like, okay, and he's back. All right, so what we were saying was,
I remember he did it one time when that particular place's owner was in, and he was utterly lost.
he was like,
Just didn't know if he needed to call the police. Didn't know if he should be scared, because he's scared, but he's not in danger, but he feels like he is.
yeah, he had that. It was like a knee jerk reaction, like, what about what?
He had
what?
like he had his thing around it and his thing, and he's like,
Yep, just trying to decipher.
just trying to compute.
Just trying to decipher. I think that the biggest distinction that people need to keep in mind too, whenever you're thinking Key and Peele, to try to just separate Jordan Peele and Michael Keane, or Keegan Michael Key. I always
called that man a Kegel.
I know, and I've been trying my
Called him
best.
a vaginal exercise.
Like, listen to this. You know how you said child predator? That's that's the thing that's been haunting me, because that's been my problem slipping up with his name like the entire time. It's like I keep calling him Kegel Mikan, like flipping his name up all dyslexic style. Like the letters don't exist in
but
order.
The switch up that you made makes him a vaginal exercise.
Hey, you know, some people
Don't
say.
start him.
Some people say. That,
I don't know.
I mean, I don't know. I'm sure there are some people that have had sex with him.
Some people
what
do.
what if they say that?
Maybe not.
What if
You
they
never
say
know.
what if they say that he's a sexual exercise?
He could be.
What if by me calling him Kegel gave him a new nickname and I didn't even mean to? Because you know how I give people nicknames.
That's true.
I accidentally steal people's names from them sometimes, and I don't mean to. So what if people calling him Kegel, and there's a legend on the internet of how he's like,
How we can just make it twitch like this, and it's just like apparently like the greatest.
gross. Keegan Michael Key. His name is long, so is his body. That's how you know. Jordan Peele, his name is not as long. He is not either. That's how.
Hold on, I thought he was the bald one. He's the bearded one.
The tall one is. You messed up, Ron.
I thought the tall bald one was Key, and the other one was Peele.
No, Jordan is the shorter balder,
The shorter beard one.
shorter beard one. No,
Wow.
the
Not bald one with the beard. That's
It just
that's-
depends. Like
that's
I've seen,
Jordan Peele.
they've all had they've both like they've
I'm just gonna pull up a picture.
you need to, because they've had similar styles. Like I've seen them both with some facial hair. I've seen them both with no hair. So show me who. Just
I had him backwards.
I knew you did, because it's a common thing in my head. Because I never
Wow.
like if you're watching Key and Peele, they'll even tell you on the beginning of the show who they are. But brain skips past that directly to like, okay,
Yeah, you're like, give me the funnies.
Get me to the funnies. I'm tuned out right now. I'm making popcorn. I'm grabbing something to eat. You know.
Wow. I'm just kind of blown away that it's that one and not the
Yeah.
other one.
Yeah. I figured I would mention that on the podcast just so people that might not know could know, just to make it easier on themselves. So
Do you want to tell Black Flag to put it here?
I think, what, the pictures? No, I'm not presenting my hand for Black Flag to ever put any more pictures up, because I felt like a big old ding ding dingus, but just waiting on. I'm like, oh, maybe Black Flag just forgot to edit in there, and then I make a quick email to them, and they're like, no, brother, that was for your own benefit.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes the people over there, they'd make some creative decisions.
That's the
and
problem
it
with
makes it
having
great.
executive producers. They make executive decisions.
Yep.
So what can you do? The Key and Peele thing, though, like there's so much comedy out of that era that it is insane. That
Yeah.
this,
like
it's
pizza
almost like
one.
he's like yanked the e-brake and like started driving backwards on that same road at the same speed. Like it's almost like popularity keeps growing for stuff.
Well, what's kind of funny though, he sprinkled some horror elements in some of the skits,
Yeah, I can remember some.
like Continental Breakfast was one.
The one that I was referring to, even in my
Family
name.
Matters, Aerobic Meltdown, The Telemarketer.
Do you remember the bitch
Zombie
one?
Attack. The bitch one is great.
The bitch one's like a
That
psychological
one's
horror.
great.
Because all he's wanting to do is just tell how big of a man he is, but meanwhile he's trying to
By
hide from
calling his wife his bitch.
Yeah,
Or saying she was a bitch.
yeah. And
Oh,
I looked
so good.
I looked her directly into the windows of her soul and I said, bitch. You didn't say that. You called her a bitch? I did. I told her. I called her a bitch. And then all the way to the point to where he wants to just say it loud and they're in space. He said,
Well, they're going back and forth.
oh, it's
about that
insane.
with their wives, proving how much bigger of a man he is than him.
Yeah.
And every time the distance they check is longer, until one of them's going backwards into the sun, and he's going,
It's one of my favorite ones
it's
just because
so good.
just because of the delivery of that line. It's permanently etched into my brain. Like
If-
I looked her directly in the windows to her soul and I said,
I mean, that's the one that I remember the most. If I think Key and Peele comedy skits, that's the one that pops in my brain first.
yeah, that's but at the same time too, they're worried about their girls walking in and hearing them talking like that.
Yep.
Like, so the whole time it's just triple, double, quadruple checking, like how much safer is safe going to be? Okay, we're going to say it. We're going to say it louder with our chest. What are we going to do? We need to get a little further away. Until you can't get any further away. That is and there's other ones too. The messing up of the names. Also, not just messing up of the names, because that's the tall one. I'm not going to try to say his name because I'm permanently tripped up now. Michael. There we go. He had the
And you could just say Key.
Key. Can I just say Key?
Yeah, we know Key and Peele.
Can I just say
Peele.
Key? Is that
Yeah,
acceptable?
well, I mean, like in a lot of the videos, they refer to themselves as Key or Peele.
That makes it a lot easier for me than trying to just example name. I'll just say Key. So Key is the substitute teacher and is mispronouncing all the names. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
That is a complete, because that's the opposite reaction you would think that you would get from a substitute teacher, because like in my experience, substitute teachers weren't so hard pressed or hard nosed about stuff. Like they weren't trying to like be like Peggy Hill, like I am the law now that I am here. You must now respect me. I'm a substitute teacher of the year 2 times over in Arlen. You know,
The football names. Did you ever watch those? There's like 10 of them.
that is my favorite.
It's so great.
That is my favorite.
I'm
Domarius-
Billy Bob Jimbo James Lee Jr. the Third, University of Tennessee.
Demarius Laquanicius Bakwa me from mama, like just carrying on, just University of Alabama.
Yeah.
Just
It's so good.
University of Ohio. Go Buckeyes.
My name's Squinchy. Ole Miss.
You know what? I want a list of names. I want a list of names that we can read off for each other. And I'm going to send you some. Give me just a second
Are you
because
gonna send them to me, brother?
because I have a big screen.
No, my phone's over there, brother.
No, I have a big screen. That's how I'm going to send them to you for you to have. I'm going to hand you my screen.
Oh.
I'm going to read a couple, then you're going to read a couple.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Okay. Also, don't mind my chat GPT. I've been asking it questions about whether or not the president's alive.
Look, I ask mine weird stuff too. I'm the last one to judge.
I've got so many things. Okay. So let's see. I'm going to ask the robot to list the names from the sketch. List. I can't type like in this position. This is a hard position to type out. List the names.
I mean, look, in my chat GPT history, I've got one that's, let me read you a couple of my best ones that are weird. Subaru acronym creation.
Oh my God.
Sasquatch in the Mark of Cain. Batman as an allegory for Jesus Christ.
Okay.
So who am I to judge? Also, do wieners float?
Well,
Because I heard a song, and yeah, they do.
you sent me that song, and I
No, I played it as I was walking into the shop one day.
No, you
Apparently
sent-
from off TV to an on TV.
no, you sent it to me while I'm sitting at the shop with the television off. It turns itself on with that song playing.
Oh yeah,
All right. Actually, it just gave me a small list of them, okay? So I'll just read them off for you.
that's fine.
I thought it was going to give me a big list, but then I remember ChatGPT has a limiter on it now for stuff.
Yeah,
I had a person find out by asking it to count to 1 million, and it said they could, but how about we just go until you get tired of doing this? And it's like 1, 2, 3. Okay, just let me know if you want to change the subject. No, I don't want to. Keep counting. Okay. 4, 5, 6. I mean, this could get a little tiring. So if you want to stop, so it's one of those things that
Yeah.
throttles commands.
well,
So-
it'll also just tell you, "Hey, we've reached the end of this conversation unless you upgrade to Pro." I've gotten there.
I don't have Pro, but I do have an account.
I mean, I have an account too, but I also do not have Pro.
I'm going to tell it to include the team names because I did exclude that in my asking questions. Okay, because that adds to the whole bit of it. Okay, let's see. All right, here we go.
Also made to do a family-friendly cryptid erotica story.
Oh, that's awesome. I can read off a couple of these. I've got pyramid scan discoveries. I've got let's see.
No, just give me the weird ones.
Okay.
That one was pretty normal.
USA anime ban. I've got the traveling rules for global hemp gummies. I've got. I don't have many super weird ones though. I mean, no, I don't. I really don't have any crazy ones. It's just got a bunch of different like ICP Diddy trial credibility. Just looking up wherever I'd seen some AI stuff and then figured out it was an AI hole that I'd got into.
Gotcha.
Here's the names though. They got the East Team roster. You got DeMarcus Williams, University of Georgia. You got Tavarius King, Maryland State. Deepez Poopsie, Ole Miss.
Yeah, I remember that one.
DeJasper Probing Crux III, South Carolina State. Leoz Maxwell Gillums, East Carolina. Hingle McCringleberry, Penn State.
Yeah, I remember that one too.
LeCarpetron Duck Marriott, Florida Atlantic. Jadinkalich Morgoon, University of Florida. Xmas Jackson Flaxen Waxen.
Now, mind you, each of these has a different accent with them too.
Yes. Oh God. And to get their accents right would have to be way more brain than I have logged
Well,
in.
it
for
would also sometimes seem awful racist.
I couldn't do it. I wouldn't do it. It's not for me.
No.
Sageria Jefferson, Texas A&M. DeGlester Harding, I can't do that. DeGlester Hardunkitchud. Golly.
Yes.
So Swerveton La Goodland Splat. Saskatchewan. Quattro. San Jose State. Osmatez Buckshank. Stanford. Okay, hold on. Desquarius Green Jr., Notre Dame, and Shaka Khan TGIF Carter. Thanks for joining us, everyone. If you want a little bit of extra grapes, all you got to do is get onto the TikTok. There's some shorts on there highlighting some of our funnies that we've had along the way. I'm the only one on TikTok a lot of times, just doom scrolling and just carrying on, so that's why it's on my TikTok. So if you want to get on there, look up austin.shazam. peele.phi on TikTok. You'll be able to find all the grape reels on there, as well as getting onto our Patreon for some extra squeeze. For $5 a month, you will have an extended episode that is uncut directly from record button to record button. No shenanigans are left out. If you get on the $10 tier of our Patreon, you get the uncut video as well, along with special videos and special segments that we do just for the $10 tier. Get on there, get all of our extra content, help support the podcast, and we would appreciate it greatly.
That's my peanut butter.
Have you ever been sitting in your car listening to us and you go, I wonder what these two chuckleheads look like while they're, laughing hysterically, or I just really want to see the reaction? Get on YouTube. You can see that there. The video releases every Friday. I mean, it's not uncut like, if you was on the Patreon, but you still get to see. And then if you scroll down to the description, you look there, there's a link that'll take you over to the Discord. We call that the Backyard Bonanza. You can talk to us directly. We're on there live, uncut, uncensored, and irrevocably circumcised. And having no idea what it's about. Because it was just this guy and this girl. They're in a relationship. They're going to go meet one of their parents. And he's black, she's white, and it was just like, whatever. And he's, nervous because apparently it's someplace in the South. And he's like, I don't know how I'm going to be accepted, because that movie was about, racism.
Yeah.
And it was like, okay, makes sense. I expected, did you ever see that movie Disturbia?
Yeah.
I expected it to be, somewhere in that ballpark of what it was as far as thriller horror level. No, I was wrong. I got punched in the face with that hypnosis scene, and I was like,
straight down,
dude. And
down you go.
And I was at the shop by myself with it haunted in the back.
Yeah, that place is haunted now.
And I had gotten some of the amnesia haze in me. By some, I mean a lot. And that what happened on the screen. I was in the hole with them. I was down there, dude. It was.
We got to process a pound of lemon cake this week.
Well, I ain't watching Get Out after that.
I wouldn't either. See, the bad thing about processing live rosin, whenever you're individually putting it into little jars to make sure that it's packaged appropriately and you can weigh everything.
It's a time.
So it is a time. You spend a lot of time hovering over it. You spend a lot of time making sure you don't get anything contaminated.
It's a time for more than just
and then after you realize that your hot knife has been giving you little ploofs every time you put it into a jar, it doesn't amount to much. It's just like a scent. But you smell that scent over 250 jars per person, and then you stand up and you walk out of the room, and all of a sudden you are actually in the cartoon Lilo and Stitch, and you're standing there just like, what the fuck is going on here? Ain't no place that I'd rather be. I'm so far out at sea. It's just like,
well, I mean, at least
I was in the ocean, man. I stood out there.
Dude.
I stood out there in the the lobby customer area, just like, dude, I feel like I am in the ocean. And you were talking to me from across the room, and you're like, I really got to put on these labels, man.
Yeah. Well, see, here's the thing. I walked out and I went and sat in one of the office-y chairs that we call the employee seat. So I went and sat in one of those, and when I sat, everything sunk into me, and I was like, I feel like I'm out in the garden. And I was like, there's no way, because I didn't even vape when we were in the room.
Yeah.
And then you walk out and you said, hey, I'm way in the back of the garden. And I said, I am really glad you said that, because I thought I was, but then I was telling myself it was just in my head.
Yeah.
Because when I sat down, it felt like I was doing the goggles with my hand over my eyes.
Yeah.
I could feel that. And then I felt like I had a warm woolen quilt on me that was slightly wet, but not wet enough that was like, where I felt gross, but wet enough to go, this is kind of wet.
That's just your shirt and your body hair.
Yeah. And then I'm sitting there with the fingers around my eyes, and then you walk out, and I'm like, okay, there he is. And you're like, man, have you seen the rose bushes back here? And I was like, dude, I've not been to see the rose bushes in a while.
Yeah. Yeah. We're yelling.
Yeah.
We deepened that garden, and we didn't even intend to. We were just tending it.
No.
We weren't even actually intending on like having a salad. We just ended up just sniffing the dressing so long that like it scrambled the brain.
And that was with blueberry muffin, the lower one.
Yeah, the one that's meant for calming and relaxing.
Well, this one's supposed to be in the middle, ain't it?
This one is like a 60-40.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit 60-40 towards the energetic side of stuff. So that's going to be enough to where we're going to feel it in our body, but our brain's going to get activated. Yeah. So it's going to be something that we're going to get through with, and we're going to sit down and we're going to say
the amnesia haze. That was something different.
Yeah, that was like you can go in your hover round, but that was your body.
I was like, I'm going to do karate, but I don't know karate. But it's also going to happen right here in the middle of the sack.
Yeah, you're out there.
I caught karate and then the sits.
Because in Tiny's head, whenever he got through with processing the amnesia haze, which is a really good sativa, he felt all this like nervous energy, and in his head he was playing like a song he doesn't even know, but he was out practicing karate. Let's get down to business to defeat the Hun. You know that song? You ever heard it from the Moonlight? Did they send me daughters when I asked for sons?
So basically, I tapped into my inner Peyton Presley or Peyton Parrish.
You ever met, but you can bet before we're through, Mister, I'll make a man out of you. I'm sorry, I had to finish it. Yeah. I've got that condition.
Well, I mean, my brain just went, I hope we don't get flagged.
I don't think we will. No, you don't get people sing all day long.
We'll just have them put, hey, this is.
For you personally, with your voice saying those things, you can get flagged? It's not that good.
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
I would feel kind of honored.
Dude, we've gotten flagged several times that I've had to go in there and fix. This black flag goes, hey, man, you might want to do this because we got flagged. And I'm like, yeah, okay.
Damn, just from little blips.
Yeah, it's dumb.
Like
but a lot of times, as long as you just quote it,
yeah,
like at least in the description, then it don't care.
Well, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's wild.
Because then they must have a shitty operating service doing that. Because I mean, you can tell a clear difference between hey, you've played something copywritten and hey, this singer just sang into a microphone.
So aggressive.
Oh. That's dumb.
Because like them reaction channels that, have you ever seen where they like play a song with a video and then they talk about like the techniques and stuff that went into there?
Yeah.
Shout out Charismatic Voice. Yeah, like her stuff gets flagged constantly. And hers is a deep dive analysis of it. So it's definitely transformative. So it falls under fair use. Yet she still has to fight that fight every time.
I think if you liked Nope, I mean, not Nope, but you liked Get Out and you want to see a scary.
I mean, I plan on watching all of his stuff.
Well, definitely watch
because I'm curious.
Definitely watch the new Candyman.
Dude, when I was a kid, that movie scared me so much.
That did, because that was, a Bloody Mary. That's like that same Bloody
Man had me worse.
Yeah, but it's the idea, because I had heard the Bloody Mary thing before from having older siblings, but then
it was that one scene when she's in the park. You know the one where they're like circling around her?
Yeah.
Would you look for the Candyman, bitch?
Yeah.
Would you look for the Candyman, bitch? I was a little kid.
Yeah.
Where she was looked like the park that we have here. Out by the one bathroom that, when you're little, your parents say, we don't go to that bathroom.
Yeah.
It looked just like that area.
Yeah.
So I thought if I ever went towards that bathroom, Candyman was going to get me.
That's funny. I think that the original Candyman was a little bit more of like that 90s horror slash, had some claymation and that realism going on within the claymation for the horror. And that did make it a little bit more like, you can tell that it's not real, but it's almost like, God, they did a good job. Where this one was more or less like a lot more psychological, a little bit more in depth with the story about how it became what it was. You should watch the new one. But I think it's
added a bunch of lore and stuff to it.
Yeah, because the later Candyman stuff, like they made multiple Candyman movies.
Oh yeah,
but they made the lore deeper with each movie. So instead, this time you just get Candyman lore all in one. It's a well-produced version, and it tripled its budget in the box office. So
they must have done really good.
So people enjoyed it enough that his second horror movie after Get Out.
Well, yeah. Well, he didn't direct that one. He
Produced.
wrote and produced.
Yes,
or co-wrote and produced.
co-wrote and produced.
Yeah.
But that was still like his second jolt into like here's
Right.
a big movie. It's a second movie. It's a horror movie. It's my sequel into the series.
Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure he wrote Get Out. I think he wrote all the movies he directed. If I'm,
that is a heavy crown to wear.
oh yeah. Well, I mean, basically he Kevin Smith.
Yeah,
Except I still say Kevin Smith wrote one of the creepiest, most horrifying movies that I've ever seen.
what movie is it?
Tusk.
That is true. That is one of the. That is a gross, scary movie
It really is.
because it makes you. It is a helpless feeling, just like what Get Out did. It is a helpless feeling. Like what can you do? Like I'm trapped. Like, and I don't like those kind of.
No, I
feelings.
don't like either one.
I don't like it. It doesn't make me feel good. It doesn't give me
No.
the good feels on the inside. Whatever
know,
that kind of stuff.
I will say, I don't know if the director chooses the actors, but whoever did the casting for his movies and stuff that I have seen, they did perfect. Like the actors did so well playing those parts that were just horrifying. Like the I don't know the fella's name. He was in Get Out.
Yeah.
He did so good. Like I felt every emotion. I was also out by the rose bushes.
It happens.
But going back and watching it, not in the garden, yeah, homeboy did awesome.
I like watching
felt
I like watching those movies pretty deep in the garden just because I'm way more into it. Like I'm a part of it. So
yeah.
if I'm supposed to be feeling some type of way, I'm going to be feeling it, but way extra. So I'm going to be emotionally distraught by the end of the movie. And I'm going to have to watch cartoons
Oh yeah, I've done that before.
or Bridgerton or Outlander or something that is Trudy viewing appropriate. Because sometimes I'll get away with some anime, but not all the times.
Yeah, I mean, I've also just like I'm gonna call my sister because there's been a couple times I'm like, hey, she's like, what's up? And I was like, oh, just da 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 da. She's like, that's weird and random. What she doesn't know is like, I've just watched something and horrified myself.
I just need support.
I just need a person.
Thanks everybody for joining us. It has been a fun week. I hope that you come back again next week for the Grapeth 2. The Jordan Peele topic was a good idea because I am wanting to watch some more of his movies. I've not watched all of them. There are other ones on the list that you haven't seen that you need to get into and watch
Exactly.
some of them. We can get back to them.
Have
and
you
report.
watched the trailer for him? The thing that inspired this episode?
I have. I've seen that.
Wild.
As well as there is a movie in the works right now by him as well called Monkey Paw.
Well,
And-
that's the name of his studio too, Monkey Paw Productions.
Yeah, but it's a movie.
Oh, okay, I didn't know that.
I think based on the Curse of the Monkey's Paw, or maybe just something derivative of that. Let me check it out real quick, just so I don't give you false information. I hate it whenever this thing locks. This is the dumbest piece of technology that I've ever. Sorry, I didn't say anything bad about you.
You do that, she'll break.
Yeah, no, it's let's see. I might have been making some stuff up actually. I might have just misremembered something. If I misremember
Yeah.
things, you can blame it on the
Blame it on the
Salads.
LG, baby.
blame it on the salads. All right, y'all have a good rest of your week. We'll see you next week. Come back, see us.
See ya.
Y'all come back now here.
Doses.